Terrorizes. Wait till they get a load of me. Oop, oop.
Welcome back, guys. Part 20. Here we go. This is going to be the video right now. I'm telling you right now, there is not going to be a 21 where I'm working on filtration system. This has got to be it. This is probably driving a lot of you guys crazy. So, right, we what do you got to say?
Come on, man.
Oh, come on, man. Let's do it. Yes.
Do it, Joshy.
What'd you say, Joshy?
Don't Josh.
Oh, jeez, don't mention Josh. That guy's throwing gas on the fire.
Oh, killing me.
I know he's killing me too. He's just constantly pushing and pushing and pushing. I mean, does he realize that actually some of us have full-time jobs where we actually leave the home? I know, it's kind of funny. What? I mean, it's not like I got flip-flops on and I'm walking around the house. I mean, some of us are not in our pajamas every day, sitting on a couch with a laptop on our, this, I know, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? We actually, what a concept. We actually still got to wake up in the morning, leave the house, and go to work. Anyways, we're going as fast. Did you just call me? Don't call me slow. Did you just call me slow?
Yes.
Don't call me slow. I mean, I know that I might be a little slow getting this done, but I'm going. We're getting it. All right, guys, listen, this is it right here.
You're crazy. Haven't you ever heard of the healing power of laughter?
So last night I'm working on the plumbing, obviously over there on the back wall. This is all tied in right now. This is all tied in. And right now I'm actually working on the motor for supply and return lines to go back up and fire up that manifold. So over here on the table you can see that right here we've got the thread, the PVC connector. Use the pipe dope, guys. Don't be using the tape where you're wrapping around the threads. Actually, not only dope this section up right here, right in the threads, do the mating half on the motor. Right there. Bring both surfaces together with that paste. That's how you make a good connection. That's not something you want to break into as time goes by. So tonight, the motor's going to get tied in. Going to wrap up this paper filter right here. I'm actually thinking about putting a union and another T in this area. So if in the event that if I got to pull out the UV sterilizer, which is sitting over on the 720 right now, it'll be here in probably a couple more days. I want to be able to redirect the water back into the sump if something goes sour with the UV sterilizer. So I'm going to be tweaking this area here real soon. Then we're jumping on to the emergency overflow, which is right there. We're going to work on that tonight, and that should be a good night right there. So every night it's always just a little bit something.
What a day.
I have been working on the deck, which is going to be holding chambers 4 and 5. Nothing here has been screwed together yet, but that's coming up real quick. One of the things I'm kind of looking at now is on the bottom of those 2 acrylic tanks, there's holes. Well, that bulkhead comes down. I need to bring the pipe over, and I'm thinking we're going to put the valves right here. There's going to be actually 2 of them. So this is getting kind of tricky in this area, and this will make more sense. I'm going to point this out later in time because there's actually going to be a pipe here with a valve and a pipe here and a valve, and they're going to be working their way to the wall, going around the bend, and tying into this right here. But we'll talk about that maybe a little bit later in the video. So with that, let's get rolling. Ready, Jesse?
Yep.
Let's do this.
Come on, man.
Put on your flip-flops. Let's get rolling. All right, keep going. Paint that unistrut, brother. Hurry up. Everybody's waiting.
Mama.
Oh, Mommy's upstairs.
Honey, you'll never believe what happened to me today.
Oh.
Oh.
Come on, you're a little slow. We got to get this done in 2021, man. We've been really dragging our feet on this. Oh. All right, quick update. Chamber 3 is getting tied into the main emergency pipe, which takes off way over there in the back far corner. Actually, it's in the front of the tank. So this is tied in now. I put a unistrut there and a strap, same right there, and we put a union, 2-inch union right there. So if in an event I need to ever get this 120-gallon sump out, I now can break that union and the 3 unions in the back, which actually I have to do now.
Come on, you're not gonna say that now. You're not gonna say that now. You're gonna pull that henhouse
You
shit
can
now.
see right here on this 2x2x2 T, I stepped it down to a 1-inch on the back side, and we're going to put in this 1-inch pipe, which works its all the way back there towards the wall. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that come around here, and it's going to be part of the drain for the 2 chambers right there, which is actually 4 and 5. But to get that thing mounted to the wall, I got to move out that 120-gallon sump. So this actually is going to work out nice. Just got to break all 4 unions, and this should slide right out. I have not tied in the motor yet, so it should work out real good. All right, that's where we're at. But the one other thing I want to show real quick is that T right there. I probably should have drilled the tank a long time ago. If in the event there's actually a situation where this tries to overflow, it can dump into here. But I think that's coming up. I'm going to probably drill that.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Today we worked on this deck, and this guy here is about 6 foot long. I'm using 2x6s, so we're up 5.5 plus the 5/4 board, so pretty much just a hair over 6 inches, which this is going to hold chambers 4 and 5. So what I did was with the 2x6s, I put everybody 12 inches on center, so you can actually see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the skeleton that's hiding up underneath, and then obviously I got the deck boards on top. I just left this last one open so you could see it. And there's the final deck board right there. So what I am using is I'm using the 3-inch guard dog. These are like deck screws, 3-inch for all the 2x6s, and then 2.5 inches on the main deck boards that go on top. Everything's squared up and level and looks good. Other than that, the final pipe, which goes from the sump through that ball valve and then into the main motor, has been made up, and it's presently drying because I spray painted it brown to match way over there, there, and up inside there. So those are the supply lines. So I did everything there in brown. So you're going to see that here pretty soon. All right, guys, tonight we're going to be working on chambers 4 and 5, and we got to get this wrapped up because this is pretty much going to seal the deal on getting the filtration system completed on a 1,000-gallon aquarium. So if you remember a couple weeks ago, we actually cut out the tops of the tank, which was this piece right here. So this was like this. We drilled 4 holes in the corner, and then I took a jigsaw and connected the dots, and out came this. So what we want to do is we want to repurpose this piece of acrylic, which is about a 1/2 inch thick. And what we want to do is we actually want to weld it on to the existing body. We've got these holes here, and these are roughly 6 inches in diameter. I don't know why these were here, but there was like a flange at one time. And actually you can see one of the holes there and there. So we removed the flange, but we need to plug this opening because this is going to be on the side eventually when we stand these things upright. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this acrylic outside, and we're going to rip this down, and this is roughly 7 by 7. And then we're going to bring it back in here and we're going to weld it on. So we've got to do it with both chambers. Here's the other one. So I've got this one somewhat prepped right now. I've got the 4 lines already drawn in. So what we're going to do is we're going to use weld on 16, which is this right here. It's kind of like a syrup. And we're going to apply that to the main body. And we're not going to use weld on 3. This is for a different application, but the more I was looking at this just a few minutes ago, we've got this line that goes right up the side. And I thought I felt just a little bit of movement here. So I think what we're going to do, I mean, this is where this really comes into play good because this stuff is like water. I mean, you actually got to be very careful when you use it because it gets everywhere. So they give you a syringe here. And what we're going to do is probably going to flip this over when the time comes. And we're going to put it right inside this crack, and it's going to weep its way right in between the 2 panels. So if there's anything that is not touching, it will definitely be touching when we're done, as this does like a molecular bond between the 2 panels. So first thing first, let's go outside. Let's cut both of these pieces of acrylic on the table saw, bundle up because it is cold outside. What is it, like 25 degrees right now? So let's go knock this out and we'll be right back.
Ever thought about my responsibilities?
Oh, Dick, what are you talking about?
Have you ever had a single moment's thought about my responsibilities? Have you ever thought for a single solitary moment about my responsibilities to my employers?
All right, guys, we have got the acrylic cut. It actually came out to about 7 inches by 7 inches. And what we're doing is we actually marked off the affected area with some blue painter's tape. I actually took some yellow tape and I put it on the inside diameter so that when the glue is applied to that surface, if it were to run out and over, I didn't really want to get too much here. Kind of a clean surface, and I can kind of peel that tape off. Because I think what's going to happen in time is I'm going to reach in from the inside, I'm going to capture where these 2 are coming together. So we did the first one, and actually Jack's going to hold the camera here, but this stuff moves real quick. So I mean, you have what do they say? You have 5 minutes to apply it, and you have 10 minutes of actual working time, fixture time. Yeah. So go ahead and take this right here. I'm going to show you guys how fast this kind of has to be done here. Just kind of working it right in, trying to make it so there's not too many pockets here. I'm also fighting this area where the screws are at. See right there? So I'm actually pushing a little bit down inside there. So I mean, I got 5 minutes to get this rolling. But you can see how I put that tape on there, so I don't want this excess material to get on the tank. So I can peel that back probably within that 10-minute window. So then when it does dry, look pretty good. Now I did notice when I put the first one on, I mean this stuff bites pretty fast. There's another one of the holes right there, see it? gotta plug these holes because these are gonna fill up with water. Both of these chambers are 82 gallons apiece. We're gonna fill them with live rock. Talked about it several times before. This will be part of the biological filter. There's another hole right there, you see that? I put tape on the back side. See it up underneath there? Alright, that's it. So we're full. Let's put a little dab there. There's just a little bit of excess right here. Make sure that hole is filled. That's it. Grab the panel. Try to work those air bubbles out. I can see them walking out right now. I'm starting to apply a little bit of pressure. I can see all the air pockets going away right in front of me. The good thing about the tape is I know exactly where I have to land the square acrylic within the square hole. So right now we're pretty lined up. And the weights are, where's the weights at?
Good.
A couple on there. Make sure it's, see that just moved on me, see it? So let me just hold this in position. Right there. So it looks good all the way around the whole plate. All right, we're going to let this set up for, what do you say, 5 minutes?
Yep.
And then we'll peel this tape back. You see this right here? That's why I put the tape on there, because I don't want that on the tank.
Gentlemen, the meeting is adjourned.
For Christ's sake, isn't there one of you fucking maniacs that knows what I'm talking about?
Mr. McMurphy,
Huh?
the meeting is adjourned.
All right, just wait a minute, will you? Just 1 minute?
So once this sets up a little bit and kind of bites in, like I wouldn't want to wait like a half hour, because then I don't think I could get the tape off. All right, guys, quick update on the filtration system. Tonight was pretty successful. You can see we've got the panels welded on right there. We actually took the weld on 3, and just for some extra insurance, I went around the 2 bases to kind of lock that in. So me and Jack brought them in here and put them in position for the first time up on the deck. And now the next step's going to be is to put in the 4 sweep tees back here, which is going to be a 2-inch. So you got 4 1.5 that step up to a 2-inch, and they're going to work their way over here and then drop down into the sump. And then we need to drill the holes through the deck here and here so we can get those within the deck and come out the wall. And over here is going to be the valves, which would be part of the drain, which you see standing by right there. That's where we're at right now. Things are coming together on chambers 4 and 5, and it looks pretty cool. Alright, so never a dull moment. So you can see I've got the holes drilled here and here 2 times over.
Goddamn right I did!
And these are specifically for the drains. I don't think I'll ever be using these, but I wanted them there just in an event that I needed the drain chambers 4 and 5. If something catastrophic happened, I wanted to be able to have some form of valve control and bite into that pipe over there. So, but because of the way I designed this chaos, you're going to see here in a second, we've got the bulkheads already in the bottom of in the chambers with the 90 already attached, and it's going to be prepped and ready to go and sticking out. So all I got to do is glue a pipe and put it in this hole to grab this 90 over here. But the other big problem, and it's not a big problem because we're getting ready to figure it out, this pipe is just temporarily sitting here. This is the feed, which is going to be from a motor in this area right here. We're going to pump that water up. It's going to grab that 1-inch pipe, come around the bend. It's going to be at this elevation though. And then there's going to be a T right here. It's going to continue straight and be a 90. There's a bulkhead, you're going to see here in a second, on this side of the aquarium and another one over here. I want to put a valve here and a valve here to control the water going into this chamber 5. But the tricky part is I need to get this pipe attached to the wall before the chambers slide in, because they do fall down inside both of those holes. So this is kind of a tricky one to explain here. But here are the 2 chambers. They're upside down right now. And you can see there is the 190. Let me zoom that out a little bit. And this has all been glued and locked in. So here's the one, and here is the other. We're going to flip these upside down because what we have to do is we kind of have to do like a mock setup to make it so this works, so that when I do drop it in, there's no going backwards. All right, we have the full mock setup completed. All the measuring has been done. It really came down to this pipe here, which is going to be up against the wall. We'll go around the corner, and then there's that T. And then obviously continues on to a 90. Now this will rise up. I've just got it sitting on the ground right now. This will be at 27.5 inches, so it's actually going to be up here, which in turn will come through 90 down and grab that valve right there. So all of this had to be done because I've got to get this pipe installed on the wall, painted, locked down, and ready to go so that I can mount chamber 4 and chamber 5, because I would never be able to get to this. All right, guys, I want to point something out real quick here. So obviously we got a lot of cutting going on here and kind of splicing all these pipes together, and sometimes it gets a little hectic and measuring, and you know, does that pipe fit inside of that pipe?
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
For example, right here, so this one nipple pipe right here. So we got the bulkhead, the nipple, and the 90, and a nipple in the union, and another long pipe, then a 90, then another nipple, then the other bulkhead. So because this is kind of a little bit of a complicated build right here, this is the first of 3. Not looking at this valve right here. So what I'm getting at is, I know that my pipes are within the zone. So what I've done was I've actually marked how far this pipe actually went into the bulkhead, and I've also got a mark over here, a little bit of a mark there. So when I tear everything apart, I can actually see how much of this particular nipple is up inside the bulkhead and how much of this particular nipple is up inside the 90, to know that I know I've got a good surface area here and a good surface area there. Now granted, I did measure somewhat from inside the bulkhead from this point to where the ridge is at, and the same over here where the 90 is at. So, but what I'm doing is I'm just kind of covering my butt here by marking this, and because there's so many of them, when I tear this thing apart, I'll know that I'm in that zone. The other thing, or other reason why I'm marking this, is so that when I do glue it, I know that when this line here comes up to that chamfer right there on the 90, I know that I've got this where I want it to be, as opposed to maybe it went a little too deep, or maybe, well, it wouldn't be not enough because the line wouldn't be like this. We know the line would be here because the whole thing's up inside. But you don't want to bury it too deep, right? Because what if this pipe right here actually inside is sitting like right here right now? And then I go to glue it, and the next thing you know, it buries up inside here. I mean, granted, you want to measure everything, but bottom line is I do like to make these marks, tear the whole thing apart, build it, and put it right back to the way I found it, so that I know when I go to make the final joint, specifically right here, from this nipple to the bulkhead, that everything's going to line up in this back-to-back 90 situation that I got going on right now.
My plastic surgeon always said, if you gotta go, go with a smile.